video, we'll be talking about how when you improve your fitness and you improve your diet, everything else in your life starts improving. Now first, let me ask you this question. When was the last time you really pushed yourself to the limit physically? When you had this brutal workout, when you could barely get that last rep in, but you pushed through. You were all sweaty. Or when you had a long run, and at the end of it, you could barely breathe. Remember back to a time when you really gave it all. Now, how did you feel afterwards? How did you feel? You felt great. You felt amazing. You were proud of yourself. And interestingly, you felt calm. It was like your mind was clear. Now imagine if you had this experience almost every single day. If you felt like this almost every single day, if you pushed yourself to the limit, imagine how much your life would change. You would start getting in better shape, of course. You would start feeling better. You would start sleeping better. But you see, what's interesting is that the moment you start improving your fitness, suddenly everything else in your life starts improving also. Suddenly you're getting better grades. Suddenly you got more focus. You got a better social life. You're more inviting to people. You're more calm. You have more energy and you just feel great. So you see, when you start having these brutal workouts, everything else in your life starts improving. And let me just tell you my story. The way I realized the importance of really pushing yourself when you're exercising. You see, a couple of months ago in university, we were having a football match with my classmates and it was great. You see, it was a long time at that time, ever since I really pushed myself physically, and it was great, I really pushed myself, I was running all around the field and it was a great match. At the end of it, our team won. But you see, as I was walking to my car to drive home, at the end of that football match, I was like super tired, all sweaty. I really gave it my all, and it was so interesting. Like, I felt amazing. Like, I felt so calm. It was such an interesting experience. It was almost like I took some kind of drug. And all of this was because I pushed myself to the limit physically. And because I haven't done that for so long, like, it really hit me. Like, just how good you feel afterwards. Like, I was feeling amazing. It felt like I just smoked a joint or something like that. You see, I felt great. And you see, ever since that experience, like, I started taking fitness much more seriously. Because you see, a couple of months ago, I was slacking off on fitness. I was starting to get lazy, you see. I didn't really push myself to the limit when I was exercising. And what was interesting is that I was also losing my focus on making videos. I was also starting to get lazy with writing scripts and other parts of my life. But you see, the moment I realized this and I got back to focusing on my fitness and I got back to having these brutal workouts, everything started falling back into place. You see, I started to have these brutal workouts. I really pushed myself to the limit. Every single morning I exercised and I started running again. Because you see, for a while I stopped running because, to be honest, because I was lazy and I don't like it. I really don't like running because you see, at the end of it, like, I feel like throwing up. It's really hard. But I started doing that again also. And let me tell you, it's changed everything. I feel so much better the moment I started taking my fitness more seriously. And the moment I started improving my diet, which we'll talk about later, everything changed. Suddenly, I have much better discipline and willpower in all areas of life. And suddenly I'm much more energized. Suddenly I got much more focus to make these videos and to write scripts. I have this like zest to go on. I have much more energy. You see, when I wake up energized. It's not like I'm all groggy, you're barely opening my eyes. No, I mean, sometimes that does happen, but overall, I sleep much better. My physique started getting much better. No more brain fog, you see. I feel much better. It's so interesting. And now every single day, I exercise first thing in the morning. Like either I start exercising here in my room and finally you see I got some of these weights and I use these, they are great. Or I go for a run and I feel great. So my advice to you is to take fitness more seriously. Start pushing yourself to the limit. And if you're exercising regularly, then that's great. Like, I'm really proud of you. I mean, most of the people don't even do that. But you see, I really recommend you just try it out. Just try to push yourself to the limit, to discipline yourself every single day, to give it your all, and to have these brutal workouts. And trust me, you will see the difference in all areas of your life. And now you see, if you have gone to the gym, you can probably relate to this, that the first time you went to the gym, like it felt really hard. Like you went home and every part of your body was sore, like you could barely move. But you see what's interesting is that nowadays it's not that hard. Like nowadays, after a couple of like months of going to the gym, you don't need discipline to go to the gym anymore. Because you see, for the first couple of weeks, you needed discipline just to go to the gym, just to get there. But now, like you kind of like enjoy it. Like you don't need discipline to go to the gym. Like you want to go to the gym. So you see, at that time, discipline, when you started, like you really had to use your discipline at the start. But now you don't really have to use it. You just go there and you just have a workout and you feel great. But you see, you also could use discipline right now. But you see, the interesting thing is that at the beginning, when I had to use discipline to go to the gym and to do those exercises, I felt great. But afterwards, like, yeah, I felt great, but it wasn't the same. It was kind of like chill, it wasn't that like really pushing myself. But you see, you could use the same discipline right now. You see, the discipline then was to just go to the gym. But the discipline that you have to use now is to push yourself to the limit. To get those extra reps in when you're just like holding the bar above you, like you can barely push it. That's the discipline that you have to use right now. You see, the levels change. You have to use discipline at different areas now. You want to use the same amount of discipline that you used at the beginning. You see, going to the gym should still be hard. Because at the beginning, I mean, you can probably relate if you went to the gym. It was very hard to go to the gym. But you see, now you want to go to the gym. You feel like going to the gym. It doesn't take discipline to go to the gym. But you see, it still should be hard. Now you have to use discipline to push yourself. So I really recommend you to try this out. And trust me, you will feel a huge difference. Start really pushing yourself when you have workouts, when you exercise. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about is improving your diet. And it's just the same as with fitness. The moment you start cleaning up your diet, everything starts becoming better. And you just start feeling so much better. Because the diet, what you put into your body, has such a crazy influence on you. Like, it's such an important thing, you see. I mean, I made a whole video about diet, you can check it out, but it's so important what you put into your body. I can't stress it enough. You see, the moment I started really considering what I'm eating and when I'm eating, how much I'm eating, everything changed. I felt completely different. It was like I became a whole different person. You see, I felt much better. Like, I could focus so much better. I had so much more energy. Like, around people I felt much better. I stopped getting these, crashes. When after you eat, you just want to sit around and do nothing, but you have this brain fog and you feel like your brain is full and all of that. No, I feel great, and I guarantee you, like, it's such an important thing. And you see, it's not just about diet. It's cleaning up your diet. It's not just about getting rid of the junk food. You see, it's really about what specific food you put into your body. You see, it's not just that if you eat bad food, you'll gain weight. That's not the point. I mean, if the consequences were only that you would gain weight, it wouldn't be that bad because you're already pushing yourself to the limit. You already having these bad exercises, and you will just go on a deficit, calorie deficit on the next day. You see, gaining fat is not the real problem with diet. The real problem is how much it influences everything about how you feel, your focus, your mental clarity, your energy, the functioning of your whole body. That's the real problem. You see, all of these depend on the food that you put into your body. So you see, it's not about gaining weight. No, if you put shit into your body, you will start feeling like shit. You won't have any focus. You will start having these brain fogs. You will be bloated all the time. You see, you won't have that much energy. You will be much more irritable. Much more diseases that you will have. These are the real problems. The real problems is not fat loss, fat gain, sorry. You see why you're so tired all the time, why you can't focus. It's because, most likely, it's because the food that you're putting into your body. Like, I just can't stress it enough. It has that much of an influence on you. You see, it's not just calorie in, calorie out. It's not about gaining weight. You see, all of these influencers, you see, it's so bullshit, you see. All of these influencers or people online, I see, how to get the most protein or all of that stuff, the dirty bulking, and they're eating all of this sugary, ultra-processed foods. I mean, yes, you get a bunch of calories, but you're poisoning yourself with all of that. Most of the food nowadays can't even be called food. Like most of the food that's on the shelf in grocery stores, they do not belong into your body. They are not real food. They have all sorts of chemicals, sweeteners, bunch of sugar in them. Like they don't go bad for months. What kind of food is that? So what I really recommend you, just cut out all the junk food. Like trust me, it will change everything in your life. So what I really recommend you is to cut out all of the bullshit food, all of the junk food, all of that. Cut it out. The moment you do that, you will feel amazing. You will become a completely different person. You see, a lot of diseases are because of the food that we're eating. And you see, there's so many misinformation nowadays about food. So many. And if you're interested, I leave a link to someone called Eddie Abu, and he's great. He's giving out great advice. I highly recommend you to check him out. I leave a link to his YouTube in the description. You can learn a lot from him. So what I really recommend you is to really consider what you're putting into your body. Stop eating all of that junk food, fast food, sugary drinks. Like, cut out all of the sugar. Sugar is awful for you. I mean, I probably haven't had junk food or some kind of sugary drinks for a year now. And I do not regret it. I don't want to poison myself with that. So cut it out and be that guy that looks at the ingredients of the food that you're eating. Like be the guy that looks what's inside of this food. What am I putting into your body? How much sugar is in this? Because most of the people don't even look at that. Most of the people just buy a Monster energy drink, drink it all first thing in the morning, and then wonder why they are feeling like shit. No shit, you're feeling like shit. You're putting shit into your body. Another thing that I recommend you is when thinking about your diet, think in ingredients. Like what kind of ingredients am I eating? Not just what kind of food, because when you take off any kind of food, most of the food off a shelf in a grocery store, it has like 40 ingredients in it. Think in what kind of ingredients am I eating? You see, I'm only eating meat, eggs, banana, and that's it. I mean, that's not what I'm eating, but think in ingredients. What kind of specific food am I eating? And you see, I've seen a lot of people talk about the carnivore diet nowadays and how many people has benefited from the carnivore diet, which is basically just eating meat, eggs, butter, salt, and that's it basically. And of course you're gonna add some tough stuff, but I've heard a lot of people talk about the carnivore diet. You see, only eating meat. So I highly recommend you to check it out. I haven't really tried it myself. I'm considering, because I like so many people that I trust, and I mean I trust that I think they are reliable, and I heard a lot of them talk about the carnivore diet, so I'm considering trying it. I leave some links in the description for you to do some research. So I highly recommend you also to do your own research, to experiment with the food that you're eating, because you see what I eat, I might feel great if I eat that thing, but you might feel completely different because of that. You see, the carnivore diet not might work for you. Everyone is different, and especially with food. So I really recommend to experiment yourself. What food works for you? You see, a lot of places I heard that, of course, cut out all the sugar, cut out all these ultra processed foods. And I also heard that a lot of carbs are also bad. You see, these pastas, bread, rice, and all of that stuff. Those are too much of that is bad also, and ideally you don't want to have a lot of carbs. If you're interested, here are some of the foods that I'm eating currently. And nowadays I eat eggs, meat, feta cheese, I eat sweet potato, simple potatoes, sometimes I eat rice, rarely some nuts, those are also great. I also eat fruits and vegetables. Sometimes, I eat a banana, or I eat blueberries are great. Sometimes I have some yogurt, some natural Greek yogurt, or whatever you call that. And now, of course, when I go to university, it's hard to eat some eggs and some meat there. And I pack some sandwiches with bread, with ham and all of that stuff. But sometimes I also eat oatmeal. Basically, that's it. That's all I eat. And some of the foods that I really recommend you to put into your diet is eggs and meat. I mean, the carnivore diet, basically. Have a bunch of eggs and a bunch of meat. Have like 6 eggs a day. And you might have heard that bullshit information that's going around that, eggs are bad for you. That's just bollocks. That's not true. Like, eggs are amazing for you. Just trust me, try it out. Don't just randomly listen to people online. Don't just randomly listen to me either. Try this out for yourself. Like, for the next couple of days, have 8 eggs a day. And just see the difference. Like, you will see a huge difference. And start having meat. It's amazing. What I also really recommend you to check out is fasting. To research, look into and try fasting or intermittent fasting, because I have done it for like how long? Like quite a long time, 6 months at least. I'm doing fasting, I eat twice a day and that's it. I have my first meal at around 9 or 10 in the morning, and then the next meal at around 4 or 3 o'clock, and around 4 o'clock, and I feel great. That's also one of the things that helped me so much with my physique and with the way that I'm feeling, is fasting. Because you see, we are not meant to be eating 24/7. You see, we're not meant to be like snacking all of the time. Our body always digesting and digesting and digesting. It needs some rest. It needs some rest so that it can recover, it can cleanse itself, so that it can use our fat as energy. So I really recommend you to also try out fasting, you see, because it's great for your health, amazing. And also, the food just tastes better because you're hungry, you're ready to eat. And you will feel great. Like, I highly recommend fasting. And I'm also thinking about trying that carnivore diet out, because so many people, like Jordan Peterson's daughter had some kind of disease, for example. And like, no doctor could cure it. I might be saying this wrong, I'm not sure about the information, but no doctor could really cure it. They all had all these problems with some kind of disease. The moment she got onto the carnivore diet, it was gone. She was feeling great. And there are just so many stories like this. You see, Eddie Abu, the guy that I left a link to, he also had some kind of problem, some kind of disease. And he says that he feels the best when he's on the carnivore diet. So I'm also considering checking that out. And now, just to make it clear, I'm no expert on diet, you see. I just eat what makes me feel good. And that's it, basically. So I really recommend you to do your own research and experiment with food. And of course, it depends how seriously you want to take diet. I leave some links in the description if you're interested. So remember this: brutal workouts and cleaning your diet. One of the two of the most important things that you could do. And if you do these, everything else starts becoming better. And now if you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email and we'll arrange a video call and you can ask me anything that you want, we can talk. So if you're interested about that, you can send me an email and we'll arrange a video call. So thank you for being here. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. I really recommend you to try these out. Trust me, they are such a great things to do. It will change how you feel and so many more things in your life. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your attention. All the love towards you. Have a great day and goodbye.